Welcome to another edition of Add-on Spotlight by me, Miss Bizz. This is yet another Elder Scrolls Online add-on that I use personally all the time. I just don't always have it on screen. I usually hide it, so you probably wouldn't even know I'm using it. The add-on that I have plastered right in the middle of my screen as big as possible so it's easier for you to see is Greymind's quickslot bars. This is a super handy add-on. I can't stress it enough how much I love this add-on. So we're going to take a peek and see what functionalities it has. As you can see, I have a quickslot bar full of different costumes right now. And you're probably wondering, Bizz, why do you have a quickslot bar full of costumes? Well, I'm going to show you why, because it's awesome. So here you can see, if I pull up the game's default, see? Quickslot bar full of costumes. Now I'm going to press a key. Boom. All of a sudden, my actual which quickslot is chosen changed. So I can put on that costume. Maybe no, I don't want that one. So I'll hit a different keybind. Boom. I press Q. I put on that costume. Now you're like, why do you have a quickslot bar full of costumes still? You didn't explain it. Well, that's because there are pre-made quickslot bars with this. This is amazing. So, hold on. As you can see, all your settings are different for every pre-made. So this, I have different opacity settings. And if you look at my quickslot bar, you'll see I have a whole lot of different stuff here. Oh, why am I missing something? Now, if you look here, this is actually my quickslot bar that I would bring into, say, a trial or maybe a very difficult dungeon. The reason that is my quickslot bar is because the very top is, well, essence of health, but if you actually look, it is my tripod. If we keep looking, I have spell power, I have drop magicka potions, I have my witch mother's brew that I use all the time, and of course a banker. Now, I personally only have 3 different keybinds set up, so I guess I should tell you the basics about this first. First of all, you can set up your quickslot bar, and then instead of having to use the wheel to select anything, you can actually set up keybinds. You can set up 1 keybind to every slot. I don't personally do it, and I'll show you what I do, but it is available to you. Now, when you select your keybind, all it does is select that item. You still need to press Q to actually use the item. So you'll notice how I kind of have the same idea. My best health pot, something a little less, not as good. Then I have my spell power pots, and then just a magicka pot, in case I run out, and stamina pots. So my keybinds are set up, so the very first keybind is my best magicka pot. My second keybind is my spell power pot. My third keybind is for stamina. This is a setting that you can choose, but if I were to run out of my tripods, even when I press this keybind for slot 1 and go to press Q, it's automatically going to switch me over to my regular health pot and drink that instead. That is why I have them evenly divided in my wheel here. So as I mentioned, when you actually select an item, it doesn't drink it for you. You still need to press Q, but you don't need to futz around with this wheel while you're in the middle of a trial. Something else that I did show you is that you can have different pre-made setups. Now, every setup you use will have different settings, and I'll show you all the settings once we get there, including how to unlock this darn thing. As you can see, when it's unlocked and you can drag it around, it's just black so you can see better. But I lock it up, and here could be my questing quickslot setup. Here I just have regular old health pots. They're just the normal dropped versions, normal drop, magicka pots, and normal dropped stamina pots. I also just have my basic blue food on here because it's less expensive than Witch Mother's Brew, and I don't really need it when I'm out in the world. As well, a pocket mammoth and a banker. So that's just kind of what I want to have around while I'm questing. It is as simple as hovering over the top of your quickslot bar and selecting different pre-made setups. Now, I don't have P4 set up, but a good thing that this could be for is your Alliance War stuff. When you go to the Alliance War, Cyrodiil, you're going to need siege and all that. Here you can just quickly set a pre-made skill bar, or not a skill bar, quick slot bar, so that when you're in Cyrodiil, without messing up your raid setup or whatever, you just switch to a different pre-made quick slot bar and you'll have all your Cyrodiil stuff with you. Now, like I mentioned, every single setup has different options. Now, well, they all have the exact same options, but you can change it per setup. So if I go into settings, add-ons, and quick slot bar, here is all the options we have. Right now it's locked on screen. You saw you can also just use this pin over here. Show policy. Normally mine is never showing. That's why you don't see it. I just know by how I have everything set up in my keybinds that I don't ever really want to see it, but I want you to be able to see it, so I have it set on always. Button size, as you can see, I have it set to super ginormous because, well, I want you guys to be able to see. Like, I don't know what size of video you're looking at. Oh boy, I can't drag it. Oh, because it's so tiny. See, look at that tiny little baby quick slot bar. So don't worry, it doesn't need to be as giant as I showed you right at the beginning. You can change the font size inside, and something else really cool, I like it when it's big, and we'll lock it so you guys can actually see what half these settings do. Not selected opacity, so if something is not selected, you could make it darn near invisible so it's easy to know what you have selected, or, you know, somewhere in between so you can still see what's on those slots. Gray out, when you don't have something. See, I don't have any of that, it's an empty slot. How much do I want to be able to see it? Here we have visual cues. So here you can set that when you're almost running out of something, it will warn you. Isn't that cool? Hey, you're almost out of health pots. Oh no! I hope you're not in the middle of a really long battle, because that really is not going to help you then. But hey, it might remind you to go make some. Key bindings. You'll notice that all of mine... Ooh. Oh, we made the text size really small. That's why we can't see it. I am using some of my F keys. I'm using F2, F5, and F8. Whoop. Let's make everything a little better and easier to see here. So I have it showing. You can actually change to where these go. So I can say I want it above the slot and maybe in the center. And then all the different key bindings you have set up will show up for you. Label. Do you want to know how much of stuff you have? That's what you want to turn on if you want to know. Of course, you can move it. Move it all around wherever you want so that number is wherever you want it to be. Sound alert and sound when you slot something. I just leave those as the defaults. Disable default quick chat. I don't actually know what it does. I can't tell you. I've never bothered, so I'm not exactly sure what it does. I would assume it would disable your quick slot bar, but I don't know. Maybe I need a different setting for that. Auto select next not empty slot. That is what I said I use. That's why I have like my health potions all in a row, my magicka potions all in a row. Because if something is empty, it will automatically use the next not empty slot. Really handy to actually organize where your stuff is. Next and previous wrap. So that means if, let's pretend there was a potion here instead of my banker, and all of a sudden I ran out of those potions, then it would start using this one as the next slot. That is completely up to you. Show numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't really see a point in showing those, so I don't. This is the background. See? Doesn't that look? It looks way less intrusive when you don't have the background on. I just wanted to turn it on so that, you know, you guys could see it a little bit better. Hide button background. There you go. We can have just background on the buttons. And as well, you can actually have it so it supposedly changes colors on weapon swap. But I've never made it work right. So I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong. If you can figure it out, let me know in the comments below. But that is what Greymind quick slot bars. Now, whoa, how do you get your keybinds? Don't worry, guys. That is just going to be in your controls. You're going to find Greymind quick slot bar. And here you'll see I have F2 to quick slot item 1. See, that's maybe where you want to know where the item numbers are. F5 to quick slot 4. F8 to 7. Now I actually have those set up. I have an MMO mouse, so they're at the very bottom of all my, 12 different buttons on the side of my mouse, so they're easy to actually get to, but you can bind each slot individually. So, for example, if you're a role player, a great example is how I had all those different costumes set up. Or, you know how you can put mementos on your quick slot bar? Boom. One button, hit Q, boom, you're ready. No futzing around in the middle of that wheel. Force bar visibility. Now this is really nice if you normally have it set to hidden, but you're like, oh man, I want to be able to change to my other preset, but I don't even know where my bar is. Bind a key to this. It will make it very nice. Previous and next. Not a fan. And here you can actually keybind all your presets so that if you want to be, you know, on your raid bar, press a button. Oh, I want to be on my costume one, my third preset. Well, set up a different keybind for it. Boom. It will be wonderful. So if it is on your screen and you're not in your settings, you just hover over this and press the little pin. Press that pin again to lock it. Now you won't be able to accidentally drag it anywhere on your screen. You'll notice that if you actually click on them, it will change what you have slotted. If that's your kind of thing, I'm not sure. But even when it is locked, you are able to change your presets. Like I said, this preset, notice how it looks totally different? That's because if I go into my settings, add-ons, and quick slot bar, since I'm on preset 2, all of these settings I can set differently from preset 1 just for preset 2. So every preset, you could have it on a different corner of your screen. You could have it where one is hidden during combat, but one is up all the time. Every preset has its full set of options, so that is awesome. And I just hover over this and select my different presets because I do not have keybinds set up for that. You can also hover over to visit quickly to the settings menu, which is really nice. And I think that's all I really have to tell you about Greymind quick slot bars. It is super, super handy for different setups. Like I said, if you're raiding versus questing versus going to Cyrodiil or even role-playing, you probably want to have a couple different setups for your quick slot bar and not have to do it manually all the time. This will remember what items you had in which slot. Also, keybinds, they're beautiful. I don't know about you guys, but in the middle of the fight, and I'm running around, and I'm trying to all of a sudden pick at this. Oh no, I meant my magica pot, and I've already pressed Q and wasted it. Well, a simple keybind to just select the right item before I press Q and actually drink it, that is a lifesaver. Literally, I die less in raids now, I promise you. Hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you're already using Greymind quick slot bar and what your favorite feature is, or if you have any more questions about it, ask in the comments below. Thank you for joining me. I'm Miss Bizz. Bye for now.